Well,
Hey.
somebody better say good evening since we didn't plug in the music.
Good evening, everyone. How
What
are
do you
you
mean we
doing?
didn't plug in the music?
I thought we were on Frank's show for crying out loud.
Well, listen, Shane's not here to complain, so Karen, take your complaints to the manager somewhere else.
The Karen complaint box.
Yeah, and I'm not in a good mood anyways. I haven't had a cigarette all day. I'm trying to quit,
Please turn your phone off during the show.
and I'm grumpy. I am grumpy.
Please mute. Please mute or turn off all cell phones,
Oh, go away,
pagers,
Izzo.
and other video recording audible devices. You remember that back in the 90s when they used to make that announcement?
Don't make us get the basket out to put the phones in.
Oh, like in church. Instead of dropping money, they want your old Nokia.
Yeah, but now they don't have to ask you. They just like swipe you as you pass through. They got that NFT there, isn't it? Like, what's that? What's it called? NFT? No.
That's the usher's job, and you know what it's all about? Intimidation. It's like your mother. They just got to give you the look.
Whoa.
They just give you the look with the eye, and you know what? And that means everything. You know that. Heck, a blind man can tell that what that means.
You okay there?
Molson, if you need an extra 5 minutes to get ready, just let us know. We'll just sit here.
Okay, we got to tell I'm so confused right now because should I show everybody what I did before the show? And then I got lost in everything. Well, you were counting on it, so
yeah,
tonight we have a Canadian guest, and Joe Brett says, "What happens if the guy doesn't show up? You know, like where is he?" And I was like, "Well, just bring me along," and another me, and the.
What the heck? It's not going to work now?
Oh, yeah.
This is like the there it goes. So this is like the magic trick.
Hold on, there's echoes. Oh, there you go. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ham Radio Clubhouse. Oh, there's like echoes. I can't even speak properly. It's like four of me talking about the voices in my head.
Okay.
You guys wanted it. You guys asked for it. You got more Molson. There you go. See? Be careful what you ask for.
Yeah, you got to unmute that square.
See, that's the problem, is that one square is open, the other one's not. Anyways, listen. What a week. I'm happy to be here. Sorry for being off at the start of the show. It's literally a mind game.
We're properly planned. This is what we do.
Oh, yeah, sure, totally. But like I was saying, Don, I'm quitting. I'm like in like
not
withdrawal.
One cigarette. Not even like that good morning cigarette. Like, good morning, Daniel. It's Tuesday, September 20th. Let's have a Marlboro.
No.
Really?
No, so it's tough. And I have a bet with my kid. You know how many times I was like on my way home from work today? And I was about an hour and a half out from home when I was like driving along. And I see like a corner store. I was like,
are you going to sneak one in? And when they ask you if you had any, like around the corner from the house, you would have had a little scope. You would have had a little scope, a little Lysol spray. Change your black T-shirt to another black T-shirt.
That's exactly what I was thinking. And then I'm dead serious. And I was like, no.
Hey, listen, the cows the cows are not gonna give you up. Think about it.
Yeah. Prescott's trying to get me all geared up to gain another 40 pounds there. He says, just eat a lot of sugar to make up for it. I don't need to put more weight on. I got enough.
Some of the guys are saying you ought to just switch to a good cigar, a good Camacho cigar here from David. From Davidoff. There we go. Nice. This is a good cigar.
Good thing his name wasn't Jack.
Anyway, if you're listening on the podcast or will be listening on the podcast as you're driving, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, or whatever time you're listening. If you're live on Twitter right now, once again, hey, thank you for listening. We thank everyone for their support on Twitter, and of course here on YouTube. The Buy Me a Coffee link is always available. We'll get that posted up. Hey, real quickly, let's quickly talk about what we're going to be doing. I think next Tuesday or the week out. I think we kind of said next Tuesday, if my show notes are correct. we're giving away something.
Yes, that's correct. It is the ICOM 718, right?
Mm-hmm.
It is the DX Commander. We have a power supply. We got coax. There's a soldering station. There's a whole kit and caboodle. Giving it away, an HF set, and you go to the hamradioclubhouse.com and sign up for the giveaway, and hopefully you're one of the winners.
All you got to do is sign up.
There's only one winner. Not one of the winners. There's only one winner.
Uno, one. We only got one. So seriously, and guys, just do it once. You don't. In doing it 2 times, 100 times does not increase your chances. Actually, if Molson sees that, you know what he's going to do? In the trash bin. So, and I'm going to carry it out to the dumpster. So I'll tell you what, John, just do it once. That's all you got to do. So, we hope everyone's having a good week. Weather has been kind of crazy everywhere. Hurricane season. I know the people down in Puerto Rico got a lot of the other islands got hit pretty hard with Hurricane Fiona. Please, folks, everybody, if you don't have an emergency plan for this kind of stuff, as well as any other disasters that your area is prone with, please. Now's the time to start thinking about this stuff for you and your family. It's very, very important because everybody in my world knows emergency knows no holiday. So, anyway.
Cool. What about you, Joe Brett? Haven't heard you speak. Maybe that's a blessing, but what's going on with you? Listen, listen, Felicia. Don't look at me like that, okay?
Oh, that is a Felicia look, isn't he? He was gonna throw. Something. He wanted to throw something at you, but he said there's too much valuables in his shack. You're not worthy of him breaking something in his shack.
Mm-hmm.
What's her timeline here?
I don't know.
Since last Tuesday?
Yeah.
I finally put out a video like 3 weeks after I told a guy I'll make it in a couple of days. But so he had a question about repeater book, put that out. And just working on some more and just trying to have some fun when I can.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah. So we got 3 guys tonight who are sort of MIA. So Steve is doing something. We know that. Beer Snack is with another with the Boy Scouts, I believe. He said he'll pop in afterwards. Shane, with his impeccable
Shane.
With his impeccable timing, decides to.
You know what rhymes with Shane?
What?
Shame.
Oh, what shame for what, Joe Brett? What did he do?
He decided to break his computer on a Tuesday night. He could have waited till Tuesday at 10:30.
I think it was. Did he break it, or did he decide to hit that button saying "Update Windows now"?
Yeah.
No. He said it crashed. It's a brand new computer, right?
Nonsense. Nonsense.
That new $60. That $60 laptop. I've had no problems.
No, but the worst part is when people don't shut off the automatic update, and then like right before they need it, then all of a sudden it starts to update Windows. But no, it's something that was crashing on him, right? And he wanted to try and update Windows to make it work, and that's taken forever, right? Was that the story?
So why you gotta get off that OnlyFans websites and stuff?
It's funny you mentioned that. Just realized Prescott's in defeat. He wants a foot cam. I charge for that. Okay.
Oh. Wrong kind of show, pal.
Sorry.
Putting that out there.
Is there another chat going on here that I'm not reading? That's a little bit more.
I am in the right one, right?
I don't know. maybe you're on your OnlyFans
right.
chat.
Rewind.
So last week we went live on HF, making some contacts, and we made contact with a gentleman who had a great signal, and we looked live at his QRZ page, and pretty impressive. He's into ESSB from what I understand. And so I was asking why there was so many of these processors and 32 channel equalizers, and like how do you go from using a stock mic to going through all this processing. And so we invited the guy on, and he's gonna be coming by soon, so Michelle, if you're watching, come on. But there's a couple things that we wanted to talk to him about. We wanted to talk to him about his shack setup in general, right, Don? Just his amateur operating experience, his particular setup, why he went there. There's also the hex beam, just a bunch of stuff. But the guy had a booming signal, and the best part was, I don't know, Joe Brett, I think you made contact with him a little bit later, right? Because I gave him the frequency on 20 meters, and I swear the pileup just was there, like a big pileup, and I think he ran it for quite a while. Right?
Yeah, it continued, like it transitioned.
Yeah, I don't know if he even went to sleep that night.
I hope everybody had the chance to go to his QRZ page, like how we tweeted out this morning for the show, because it's a nice layout of what he did. Nice picture quality. Some things I don't understand, which I can't wait to hear in a little bit, and maybe help make me understand a few things. And maybe a lot of other guys are in the same in the same boat as I am. But overall, though, man, his audio quality. I always listen, guys. Listen, you could be a 5.6. And yeah, I know a lot of guys, and I don't want to turn this into holy wars right now. You could be a 5.6, but your audio quality is a 5, which means it's perfect. It's nice. As long as I could hear you and everything. He was like 5.9. He was even peaking at 20 over here last Tuesday night. But what impressed me was the audio quality. It's like he was sitting right next to us in the ham shack here inside the clubhouse.
Now, Don, you've been on a bit this week, right? And Joe Brett, you too. You've been on HF this week?
I was on. Yeah. What days were you on, Joe?
I don't know.
I was on Friday from about 11 o'clock in the morning to about 7, 8 o'clock my time. I sat with the 705 on my back porch.
Sunday night, because was the last night that I was on HF, because I was following T.O. around while he was working on his Kilo Award.
I was chasing DX. I was chasing the islands. It's in my log in the other room. There's one of the islands off of Africa by Morocco on the west coast there. Not the Azores. There's another set of islands. And there was a couple hams. But between POTA and DX on Friday, man, I was having fun with just 10 watts in a wire. 10 watts in a wire, guys.
So our guest just showed up. Michelle, Victor Alpha 6, Hotel Echo Mike. And what's up, Joe Brett?
He mentioned 10 watts, and it just reminded me that I connected with a Hawaii POTA station as well the other night.
Was it on 20 meters?
20 meters, and rumor has it he was running 10 watts in a dipole. I don't know. But
there were two stations that I was striving for, him and Japan. Japan was on 15, and I was going crazy trying to find them. And I need one more state for my worked all states hunters for POTA, and that's Hawaii. But I'll be patient; it'll happen.
So, guys, I'm gonna bring Michelle in, and his call sign is Victor Alpha 6 Hotel Echo Mike. I love to hear, because I haven't had, like, this weekend, the band conditions for me were so. Like, Izzo, when you said that Japan was coming in at 3.3, nothing, and there didn't seem like that great a propagation this weekend. But Michelle, welcome to the Ham Radio Clubhouse.
There he is.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening, gentlemen. How are you?
There he is.
Not bad. Not bad.
Not bad.
Michelle, so nice to put a face to the voice.
That great audio.
we were all making contact with you last weekend, or last week, and we were just genuinely curious about your setup, your experience, and then need some more information on that ESSB. I've seen it before, and a lot of us have heard about people on HF saying, "How's my audio? Put up the highs, lower the mids," and so I see you have a lot of processors. I'd like to pick your brain how you got to that, like what brought you from a stock to enhancing your audio.
Yeah.
But before that, tell us about yourself. Tell us about your operating experience, and how are the bands for you this weekend?
Well, thanks for having me on here, gentlemen. Much appreciated. Thanks for the compliments all around, for sure. I went back and watched the video afterwards, and it was just unreal. It was just like, damn, I was actually that loud down there, so it was quite nice.
Yes.
Yeah, it's quite nice. And yeah, I know Joe was trying to get a hold of me for a while, and then finally, he's in the log, so it's nice.
I was like overdriving my mic at times. A little red light was flashing. I was like, more power.
Crank it up.
Ham harder.
That's right. Ham
I
it up
did.
harder.
I turned the input wattage to the amp up a little more.
You can always ham it up.
There you go.
Oh, there you go. Nice.
Well, there you go. So yeah, about myself, I'm just got my license back in 2013. I've always wanted to get it, so it's been a while. Finally got my ticket. Got the base with honors for sure. Played in Ontario for a couple of years. Didn't get to this extent of the setup. So basically, I had a 950. Was my last HF radio back in Ontario, and then when I moved out here, I had 950 and a wire. That's pretty well it. No amplifier, no ESSB, what as we want to call it. It's just microphone wire, and that's it. So back in Ontario, I was watching, of course, Bob Heil and Ham Nation and everything else as they started to get the. Give me 1 second.
Something's happening, and I like it. It sounds cool.
Let me guess. He just got an Amazon delivery, and that's a notification sound.
Oh, my dad's trying to turn the TV down. So.
His Ring doorbell just went off.
He just won that eBay auction.
We got the big TV. Give me 1 second. This sucks being
worries.
live. I'm just gonna put you on mute for 1 second.
It's great. It's what makes the show.
That was fun.
That was great.
So, Joe Bright, you finally got through to him. I think you said in the chat that it was trying to pull a tooth. Like it was pretty difficult to get through to him, but you finally made it.
Yeah,
How long did it take you?
I don't know. I don't know. It seemed like forever, but I wasn't paying attention.
Oh well.
I think we do need to
15,
point out
20 minutes.
before we go any further what Scout 75 just said is a plain black T-shirt required in Canada for amateur radio operators. Because look at you guys there.
And no hair is another one, I guess.
You know something? We coordinated this, right? So
Totally.
east to west, buddy. East to west.
East
We
to
had
west.
to do it.
Just like the bookends, the Canadian bookends.
That's exactly. I just don't have the beard. That's all.
Yeah.
Anyways, so yeah.
So where'd you guys? So real quickly before you get into ham radio,
Yeah.
because everybody wants to know how do you parlay. Are you retired? What do you do for a living? What's your profession? Like, where'd you come from?
All right, you're gonna be. I'm not an audio technician or anything like that, so don't even go there with that.
Okay.
I'm totally off the spectrum. I'm a chef.
Okay.
So I cook for a living.
Excellent.
Yeah. So work down here at a hotel in Calgary. So been down here for the last year and a half. Worked at the Calgary Tower, and then prior to that, being a cook, I was a chef. Or sorry, not a chef. I was a truck driver. So I drove truck for 18 years, almost 19, all over the U.S. and Canada.
And playing on CB, 11 meters, obviously, right?
Of course, yeah.
Right.
Playing with that. So, and plus when I was younger, my dad had a CB in the house. So that always got me going too, right? So, which was nice. He had the big old Cobra bass with the 2 speakers and all that lovely jazz, Cobra 2000 and all that. So, yeah.
Nice.
We'll start off with that. And I did start off as CB, 11 meter band, as probably a lot of people did, which is fine. And never had an issue with it. Then, like
What
I said,
was your CB handle?
Taz.
Taz. Okay.
Taz.
I didn't know if it was spatula or something, food culinary related.
No culinary relation on that one.
Okay.
It was just Taz, and then yeah.
So,
So
Michelle, are you familiar with ham radio for non-techies, Scott?
no.
Well, you should be because he also likes to cook. He's got another channel besides his ham radio channel where he does cooking. So
Just started, brand new channel, only about a few weeks old.
Oh, nice. Kind of like that. Never. I'm more of a when you're cooking, I'm the back of the scenes guy where I'll do all the pans, the fryer, anything else I need to do, run the line, and then that's pretty well all I do. And then plate everything, make everything look sexy, and then send it out to you guys. And everything looks really well. That's
Very cool.
That's my forte.
So you work on the white table.
Pretty much. Yeah. one of the big bosses there, so which is nice.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's very cool. So, been an amateur operator since 2013. You said, right?
Yeah. That's when I started to go for my my ticket.
And then all of a sudden, you're watching Bob Heil and talking about, the guy loves talking about his microphones.
Yeah, Mike.
And,
It wasn't really his microphones. It was just he was talking about having not just the microphone running through his radio, but he would take it and peak his highs, peak his lows with just an external mixer, a little 3-band mixer. Got your low, mids, highs, and I decided to do that. And then back in my shack when I had in Ontario, I had a little mixer as well, and then it worked really good. I can adjust a bit coordinates with the 950, which was nice. It made it a little bit better, not too much, but a bit better. And then when I come out here, I sold everything back in Ontario and come out here, so everything I had I sold except like a power supply, an antenna, and that's pretty well it. I kept like one little small UHF VHF radio and just play with it out here in Calgary. About 2-3 years ago, decided to, after we moved into this house, was when the pandemic started, wasn't working. So I figured, what the hell, let's just get back in the hobby again. So this has been like the shack down here has been about a 3-year process. I haven't done anything in the last year. So corn is with the death. So it's taken me some time to play with it, and everything I've played with was just University of YouTube and trial and error. So
I never heard it. I never heard it coined University of YouTube. That's new.
Well,
that's cool.
You see that little gap between Michelle and Daniel's squares there?
Yeah.
I thought for a minute that was part of Michelle's shack. I was like, "Whoa, dude, what's around the corner of your wall there?" But
on this side right here.
Yeah. Then I realized it's the background of the.
It's your NASA console. Come on
now. So the part that I want to know is what drove you into the next level of your audio processing. Like, was it that something was missing? Was it that you noticeably missed something was missing, or was it just hey, this is another avenue to go down? And what was the benefit? Like, you know what I mean? Some people do it just because it's another notch in the belt. Yep. And then somebody's because, there's a weakness in my audio that I really need to address, Where did it come from?
So I was watching, of course, one of the other gents on YouTube. Trying to think of his name. Steve, I think his name is Steve. K1GMM. So I was watching him a bit on YouTube, and he did pretty well the same thing, and would hear his audio was like phenomenal. So I'm thinking, well, I'm gonna try that out. I was like, I love the sound I love the audio sound was so deep and so rich, was just unbelievable. So he would use a superhead, and we'd use a 7300, and pretty well almost the same setup as I have here. He would use the mic, not the mic, but the Ultra Gain Pro, the preamp, and then would use the 32 band EQ, and then he would work down to the Sonic Exciter. He uses a different one, and then would just go down from there. And then I'm using a Compressor Pro XL, which is a noise gate, which helps me quite a bit with all the background noises.
Michelle,
and everything. Yeah,
I want to interrupt you for a minute. I know for me, and I think there's going to be a lot of other people in the chat. When we get into the details of your various equipment, I think it would be helpful if you feel that your QRZ page may be a good point it out, or if you have if you want to share anything that you want to share on your end, please. I think our audience would be like, so I know for me, I'm like, what's he talking about? I want to see that piece of again. I know what an amplifier looks like. I know what the radio looks like. But when we get into the EQ and various things, get us excited because we're right there. We're right there with it.
So Joe Bright has Joe. Unless you have, if you can share a screen if you want to, or Joe Bright is sharing your QRZ page.
Yeah, I don't have any pictures, but I should have taken some pictures before I started. But I see Joe has it up there as well.
So
Your
let
QRZ
me
page is great, man.
let
Yeah.
me pull Joe up here. Give me one
I can
second.
share it, so I'm not in it.
Share it up there, Joe.
Yeah.
Hang on. All right.
All right. So you were talking about the processors and all that. So we see that you have.
If you scroll down a bit there, Joe, or yeah, there we go.
There you go.
So the first one you see right below the microphone. So the microphone there is just basically a Audio Technica 2020 studio mic, just a regular, almost like a podcast mic type of thing. Picked it up at Long Wade, super simple. And then the first piece of the equipment you can see it's a tube Ultra Gain Pro, so it's like a preamp for the microphone, so it can brings your softness out, brings power to the actual microphone as well. Right below that is your lovely 32 band EQ. Now everything you see here is 2 channels, so I got 2 channels going through the whole rack. Channel 1 is basically goes out to my radio, and then channel 2 would basically go to my M audio, which we'll get down there a little bit more. It's down the chain.
And both of them are running off your microphone, right? Both
Yeah,
channels.
so,
they're
yes,
duplicated signals.
Yep.
Okay.
So in the top, so my one microphone goes to my right side of the desk, goes all the way to the left. From there, it patches into 2, so left and right channel, and then from there it goes to the audio rack all the way down to where you see the virtualizer, the virtualizer Pro, where it says a 60, and that just feeds out to channel 1 would be the radio, and channel 2 would be the M audio, which would be through my computer. So I can do this. So I'm actually using my audio rack right now to talk to you guys.
So Michelle, the 32 band EQ that you have there, you have 2 channels.
Yep.
We used to use those. Now the digital consoles, like when you do live sound and stuff like that, now it's digital. But we used to ring a room, or we used to tune a room, and we would use those to cut off the frequencies we'd have a special microphone. We'd run some pink noise, some white noise, whatever you want, into the room, and you would see where the feedback, what frequencies were feeding back in the room, and you would cut it and you just tune the room. That's completely different than what you're doing with a 32 band EQ for your, essentially, just your audio going out over the radio.
Correct.
So that is a very, very fine slivers that you're adjusting there of your audio quality.
Correct.
And most people don't have the training to tune that. So how, number one, how are you using that? So are you using like a web SDR? Are you using your computer audio, just recording and listening back to yourself? Is it somebody on the other end who like this? Is it a network of people who can help you? How are you making that decision if you're enhancing it or reducing it?
It basically is a lot of help.
Okay.
I would basically flatline everything, put everything at 0, and then from there, I would talk to one of my gentleman friends up here. Probably a lot of people heard him before. His name is Rick, VA6HEM. I don't know if anybody's heard him before. He deals with audio broadcasting quite a bit. So him and I mean, after I kind of tweaked and kind of listened to myself for hours in my own, like not transmitting over the air, but just listening, going, test 1 2, trying to listen to myself on the headphones. It would be just adjusting from there to figure what I sounded like myself, and then from there, people would be like, "Oh, can you just turn this up a bit more? Turn this down." And then I get somebody else on there that, "Hey, you sound good. Are you using an audio rack?" It's like, "Yes." It's like, "I'm using this. And he's like, "Perfect. Let's just take this component and we'll just turn this up, or like we'll take the 2K and we'll take that up a bit more, or drop that down a bit less." So it's basically trial and error over the last, say, about 2 years of adjusting and tweaking, and you're constantly tweaking it. The audio, like to make it sound real. I haven't adjusted it in a while. Haven't adjusted it since I lost the flex, but it'll be back here next week or this week. But yeah, it's all set up for the flex right now. I haven't bothered tinkering with for the 950. So the 950 wasn't using the audio rack. I'm just using the Heil headset here, and that's pretty well all I'm using. But yeah.
Okay, so then after your 32 band EQs, then you're going to
I'm going
can't
to the
read that
Sonic.
properly.
It's called the Sonic Exciter.
Okay.
So this gives me my low ends. So where you see the two little blue lights in the middle of the screen. Yeah, right there. So that's a Sonic Exciter. So basically, if I'm talking to you guys right now, and if I take it and depress the two blue lights, this is what you hear. A little bit
Oh
different.
wow, big difference. Yeah.
Yeah. So it takes out all the bass and everything else. And if I put it back in, you get the lows back in there again. So
Yeah.
it's all the nice lows and everything else.
Nice balance. Yeah.
Yeah. So it gives that nice balance and makes my voice isn't really deep. Some people that have deep voices, they'll take it and actually enhance it more or de-enhance it, make it a little less. But that's pretty well what it does. In a nutshell. From there, it goes down into the next little daisy chain, goes to my Composer Pro XL. So it's my noise gate, theoretically, is like I said, my left channel is channel 1. That's the audio rack. So on the left-hand side of the screen is the audio rack. I can turn it up a bit where it's theoretically as if I stop talking, you shouldn't be able to hear my TV that's playing in the background.
Well, it didn't work before when it turned
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
But
My dad, yeah, I know. I got a full surround down here with a 12-inch sub and everything else, and they can watch movies and not even bother me on the.
Michelle, question for you.
Yes, sir.
So whatever channel is for your radio.
Yep.
How do you start off? Do you start off with zeros in on the radio, or let it come in at whatever the factory defaults are?
Factory default.
Factory default of the
So,
radio, and
yeah.
then what do you like to do? Do you like to adjust your equipment, or do you adjust the radio or is it just trial and error with a little bit, you know?
So theoretically, everything I'm using is external. This is the two racks. I'm not doing nothing with the radio. The radio is flat lined right across. So
Okay.
when I'm running my flex, it's basically I don't touch nothing in the flex. I basically leave everything at 0 across the board, and then I pipe the audio from here into the flex, and it makes it sound phenomenal.
Interesting.
Yeah, and then it works really really well. I like it.
so you got
Because-
your gate. Sorry.
Good. No, go ahead, Melissa. Go ahead.
No. You had a question.
No. It's basically a comment. When I bought my Heil products, and I had there was a problem.
Yep.
And I called up Heil, and 2 days later, I had a new microphone. Customer service was A++. And the first thing they said to us is, "We're going to walk you through your radio right now."
Mhm.
And to me, and then they said to me, "Write everything down. Write everything down. Tuck it
Definitely
away."
write it down. Definitely write it down.
And-
Take pictures.
And there was just one slight modification when I actually got on the radio that we actually did. But again, that's as far as I've gone. I have not taken the next step to what you have done. So, but that's very interesting. So start with defaults across the radio, and then let this do all your modifications then.
Yeah, correct. And then from there, you just trial and error, which is
SDR
it's-
players and everything else.
I've done that too. Web
Yep.
SDRs, listening
Yep.
to the other side of the country, and it's like, okay, point the beam that way. It's like, listen, and then start
Yeah, that's-
talking. And it's like, all right, cool, moving on
That's-
from there.
That's what I would do a lot is get on WebSDR or something and see what it sounded like when I was messing with it.
Yeah.
One time I ran. It was kind of cool. I was, the monitor function in the ICOMs. You can hear
Yep.
yourself.
Yep.
But it's not your transmitted audio.
No.
So I had it sounding great in my ears, and then I made a contact with a station in Mexico City, and he was like, "Oh,
You don't sound good.
well, you're too bassy." And I was like, "Okay." And we sit there for like 20 minutes, and he helped me get it tweaked out, and it was just cool to me. Just a random contact got my audio going pretty good.
You know, what I
And when
found
Joe
very
Brett was
interesting.
when Joe was done adjusting his microphone, he was speaking Spanish, going "arriba, arriba." That's how,
Gracias,
Nice.
amigo.
Gracias, QSL via the bureau.
Sí, sí.
C QRZ.
Nice.
And one last thing regarding Mr. Bob Heil. One of the wonderful things that, again, when you listen to him in his various formats in the past, the man brought up a very good point, and it equates from the music business, but it carries over to here, whether it's podcast or whether it's AM radio.
Right.
So you have 4 people right now here in the clubhouse. All
Yep.
of our audio, our human audio is different. It's just who we are. So again, everybody has to take a little time, no matter how little or how extreme you want to go, and listen to yourself to make sure you just bought a nice radio. You probably spend anywhere from $1,000 to $3,000 for a radio, and nothing is worse than, in my opinion, of having bad audio.
Exactly.
Whether it comes straight out of the radio, stock mic, or whether you interface with an aftermarket mic, and then now you start going to the next level. And to me, I mean, I've heard some people out there in my 32 years, even on local repeaters, but primarily on the HF bands. It's sad, but I'm not gonna tell a guy what to do, you know. But now's your opportunity, to don't be afraid to play. So,
Exactly. And this was and this whole experience doing this setup was one hell of a learning curve. I tell you that.
I can imagine. Yep.
And even building the shack is not knowing how to do this. I figured I'm just going to try this out. So I started sourcing parts using, eBay, Amazon, or not really Amazon, sorry, eBay and Kijiji.
Did you just get lucky by purchasing these components, and that's or did you have other components before, and it really didn't give you what you wanted, and said,
No,
I'll sell it?
Just bought these ones. I just looked to see what the other gentleman had. He had similar same line, but his was newer. Mine's a little bit older. And just the only thing I screwed up was on the virtualizer, and that was the only thing that I really don't use too much because it's not what the audio or not the sound quality I was looking for. So it's like, so it's there, it's on, but it's not on.
That's the other thing too. In your head, I think we all know how we want to sound, correct?
Yeah. I wanted basically the virtualizer at the bottom end of the chain is I wanted a bit of reverb, just a slight tinge on the back, like on my audio. But
there you go, Joe Brett.
This one here, I could not get it. Yeah, I could not get my little bit of reverb on there. It just would not come through properly. It would be like too much, way too much, or just crappy. So I just like, oh, the hell with it, just left it.
Yeah, you end up sounding like this and stuff.
Oh no, if I can really do something like, and put it like this if you like, but
yeah,
just shut that off. But yeah, no, it just didn't set my cup of tea. So I just, instead of unplugging it and taking it out, I just left it in there and just leaves powered on.
So Michelle, I'm looking at your before we take the picture down, your left channel 1 and channel 2 on your equalizer. There's slight variations. Is that for different radios, or is that for what's the difference between the two channels? So, because they're the same source.
Yeah, same. So the same source.
They're going to a different destination, right?
So, I think I screwed up earlier. So channel number 1, which is on the left-hand side, and that's the computer side.
Okay.
So it'd be on the top picture. It would be the left-hand side, and then right where his mouse was is channel 1. That's my computer side. So that's all the computer, and then down below the next one is all my radio side.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And then when you're looking, it's two different. The way the 32 band is a little wonky because it goes sideways instead of up and down, right? And then the composer, so not composer, but the sonic exciter, channel 1, channel 2, is there. Because if I discontinue channel 2, my audio hasn't changed, has it? It's still pretty well the same. And if I get rid of number 1, take that off again, that's where the audio changes.
Oh God, turn it back on.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So if that's number 1 right now. So if I leave number 2, just not pushed in, it's not blue, you're not hearing any of the bass you're hearing. But yeah. And then
now what happens if you say I want to go on instead of do you operate from a different mode? Like if you go to AM.
I've never played on AM with this.
All right, then. Oh man, because I had like 10. Because I have a local guy next, a couple miles who's a big AM guy.
I have one here. He does the same thing.
Okay, so you know what I'm talking about. They are very meticulous, and when they get it right, they are, in my opinion, better than a broadcast station.
They are phenomenal. They when you hear them talk, you're like, oh my God. They like, how do I sound like that? It's unbelievable the way they sound. It's almost like listening in your car and you get that one guy. It's like almost back in, what was it? Was that I'm going to refer back to Howard Stern.
I was gonna say 70s, 80s.
Back in the 70s and the 80s, when you listen
Yeah.
to this Howard Stern, it's like, when he starts talking normally, and he's like, "Hey, how are you?" And you get that nice low bass and everything else, and that's the way the AM sounds.
When
It's
he
like,
was in Hartford with WCCC 107.9. Oh,
Yep.
excuse me, 106.9.
Which was
so you never had it. You never had the interest to go to AM. At
no,
all?
not yet. I may dabble over there and try it out just to see what happens, but usually usually people jump on 160 or something like that, and apparently I don't have antennas for that yet. So we only do 80 down to 6 or 6 down to 80, and that's about it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So
I
Michelle,
want to do.
we
I
had,
do
we
want
had
to do
somebody.
160. But
We had somebody ask in the chat if you could explain ESSB. Now, from my understanding, that's enhanced single sideband.
extended.
And at the
single
beginning,
sideband.
extended. Oh,
Extended
so I
single
missed-
sideband.
So I believe so. Last week, I think somebody posted a different, words for the acronym, but I've never heard of that before. Last week, when I think Don N5SKT said ESSB. Now, I haven't been licensed for super long, so the person and the people in the chat are not the only ones curious. Can you explain that? And at the beginning, you referred to that, and you said if that's what you want to call it. So, do you call it by something else?
I go by ESSB, but majority of the time I just call it my rack, because it's
Okay.
Yeah, it's one of those things that I'm still learning. I don't know all the questions. It's one of those things that it's like, what are you talking about? So I have to go look it up and do my research as well.
Let me ask you something. If there's an individual who wants to go to the next level like what you have, would you recommend what you have right there, or is there like a beginning?
You could start off with a mixer,
Okay.
like a little 4-band 6-channel mixer.
And ballpark price for those. Let's help the guys here in the chat. Let's talk about basic ballpark money.
Yeah, Canadian are about $100. A little Behringer mixer, a little 3-part, so roughly about $50 US. They're not very expensive for a little Behringer EQ. And basically it just feeds in. But now when you go to do something like that, if you run a studio mic into either a 7300 or something like that, now running this whole audio rack, that's another issue. That's another issue too. It's way too hot. So your audio is like screaming hot coming out of the back of the rack. So you need to knock that down. Now you can always get I got a DB pad on for mine that I picked up. I think I have it here because I did have it for my other one, but so I have a little minus 15 dB pad. This little XLR plugs in one end, minus 15 dB pad. And then you got to take your audio off of your radio and turn that right down. So you can't really have screaming audio coming from your radio, or you're going to have just wicked feedback and just not really feedback, but just going to sound like crap. Not good whatsoever. So it's just too bad. And then once you turn I think with my back in Ontario when I had the 950 with the audio rack, I think my mic gain was sitting about 20%, maybe 15. And then I would just use the mixer to boost that back up. Use the gain on the mixer to boost that back up.
So we have the beginning rack. Would you consider you to be like the next level, or are you like 2 or 3 levels up from what you just suggested, maybe for the new guy who wants to get involved?
This is a little more up from that. I assume. I just decided to figure, wasn't doing anything through COVID, so did a lot of reading, a lot of playing, a lot of trying to figure what's going on. And I just figured I'm going to go right into it and did it. We had the time, right? That's when COVID first hit, so I figured why not? And just did a lot of research and a lot of playing, a lot of trial and error, more error than trial, but it worked. Even to the point that making the cables, this whole station, I made all the cables and everything else, and I knew about XLR, 3 of this and that. It's just building the cables was like, damn, how do I build the cable? So get the voltmeter out or get the meter out and check the continuity and everything else, and it worked.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, step by step.
So Don N5SKT posted a link before to Kilo Charlie 1 Echo Golf Uniform, his website. He also refers to K1 GMM like you did.
Yep.
Talking about his extended or enhanced SSB setup here, and it looks very similar to yours, so I imagine it's from K1 GMM. Now, here it's saying hi-fi audio in the ham radio realm. Is that pretty much sums it up?
Yeah,
That's pretty much it.
it's pretty well
Now-
same page.
So you're able to, just a curious question, for those who contest, they might be interested. Can you adjust the EQ and maybe some effects so that you can sound like you have a female voice in a pileup?
Unless you
I know where you're going, Molson. I know where you're going.
he's trying to get his voice a little bit higher up.
Well,
If you
you know,
just,
it breaks the pileup. That we know
It
that.
breaks the
That-
pile up.
Just to go way off on this, I got the girlfriend down here one day to play on the radio, and we were just sitting on there, and I got her to play, and she ended up having a pile up for almost an hour and a half. I was she was sitting here on the desk, and I was back over there in the corner with the keyboard and listening on the headphones while she was playing on the radio. And it's like, I would write down the call and she would see it on my screen here. And she's like, "Oh, hey, you're this signal port." And she goes, "Okay, have a good day. This is my first, you're my third contact." And she would just an hour and a half, she was playing. She's like, "Hey, I'm done. I don't want to do no more."
That's right. Females add 10 dB.
they do. And they bring all the, it's just like everybody hears it. One person is like all to the band.
They bring
Which
the
is-
boys. They bring the boys to the yard, as they say.
Yep. Exactly.
On
should just
field
keep-
day,
I should just-
Daniela does too.
Take care.
Exactly. I broke a pileup. I was sitting at field day at our local club with a guy. Most of these guys know about it, and they were trying to call and break the pileup. They couldn't, and all of a sudden I'm like, "Watch this!" And I did it, and we recorded it, and it worked. I broke through the pileup. So
Nice.
yeah,
That's great.
yeah.
That's great.
So, as far as for your so the audio setup, that's really cool. Especially, it kind of explains to me when you turn on the radio and you have a bunch of guys saying, "How's my audio? It's good. Put it up a bit here."
Yeah.
and they're what is it? Audio.
Yep.
Yeah, audio. Five.
Or you get test 1 2 test audio.
Yeah.
It's like
mic
check.
one.
Yeah, that's another one too.
As long as somebody's not as long as somebody's not like test I'm all shook up, as long as they don't start singing, I'm good with that. No, but honestly, it really kind of, because to me, I'm like, okay, my rig's hooked in, my mic's there, some
Yep.
small adjustments, but I guess it's very much like people with home. Remember, I don't know about so much anymore, but remember, maybe 15 years ago, home entertainment systems,
You had each
the
piece set by
Pioneer or the each one. And
techniques.
I remember I was one time in near Bishop's University, which is in Sherbrooke, Quebec, and there was this audio store, and I walk in, and it's all these really nice wood, amps and speakers, and I'm like, oh, how much for the receiver? And she's like, in French, obviously, she's like $10,522, and I'm like, oh, I walked into the rich person's store. I gotta go. I'm sorry, right?
Get off the wood, as they say. Get off the wood.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
No,
nuts.
and so that you don't have that. I don't find you have that much more anymore in home radio systems or like it was saying hi-fi systems. But it's kind of opens up a whole new realm or a whole new side of the hobby that I haven't experienced before, and that's why I was curious. And then, what are you using right now for your antennas?
All right. Just to go back to the audio, when we spoke last week, of course, it's the AZU 950. And then I'm just using my little headset.
Yeah.
So that's all I'm using. And I'm using the actual, through the 950, I'm actually using the EQ on that one set up through the Heil headset. So I kind of tinker with that a bit up and down. But majority of the time, when I do HF, it's going to be through my flex and through the rack.
So your Flex is the one that the rack's hooked up to.
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay.
and the computer. But the Flex should be here this week. I had some front end issues. I don't know what the heck happened to it. It just crapped out on me the one day. I had it turned on and I had no front end. It just crapped out. I was like, oh no. But I did buy it from an estate sale, so I got it for cheap. But he's all fixed and coming back home, which is nice. It'll be nice to get that back in the right hand corner here.
Actually, if you don't mind, before we talk, let's do this in step, Daniel, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Feed line. What are you using for feed line?
Just coax.
No, yeah, but what are you using? Massey and Pelosi? What are you Poloni? What are you doing? You doing LMR 400? What do you?
Just,
Radio Shack. I mean, what do you?
We don't have Radio Shack here anymore. Jeez.
Hold on, Michelle. I have a question, Michelle. Is it just me, or when the Americans say Massey and Pelosi, whatever they're calling it, I keep on hearing Nancy Pelosi.
I do.
That's all I hear.
And that's my fault. Guess what? And I have the stuff, and I mispronounce it, and I apologize. M&P. We're just gonna say it, M&P. I'm just gonna leave it at that. And you can write me at molson@gmail.com, and you can argue with me all you want.
Sounds good.
And boom, there goes your inbox all blown up.
No, because again, there's some great antennas out there.
Yeah.
But we all know if you don't feed it with appropriate feed line, whether it's ladder line, unbalanced line, whatever.
I'm just basically using RG58. 75.
Is it buried? What's your layout when you leave the shack going outside? Is it buried? Is it?
So over my right shoulder here, it just goes up and then in through the ceiling. I have a beam that comes out here, like little I beam that's in the house, so it goes up and around that. I have a window that's just over my left hand shoulder here.
Right.
From there it goes outside, and then my tower is pretty well about 3 feet to the left of that, so it's basically just hanging and then up the 40-foot tower.
So 40-foot tower, and then you have what So tell us now about the antennas.
All right, so there you go. I do got some pictures, I think a little bit better ones, so yeah, this is kind of pointing towards I don't know which way we are going here. Almost 140 degrees, I think we are pointing south, towards south east of the southeast. But yeah, so you could just barely see the wire that's there. So that's what I picked up off a gentleman in Ontario. It's called a 4080 shorty. Does 40 and 80 meters. Then I do have a 20 meter kit on there as well. So I do have 20 meters on the wire. And then of course, above that is the hex beam, which you guys all know about. And then just beyond that is my UHF VHF.
Now, due to the winters you have,
Yep.
Any enhancements to the hex beam?
It does have, I know you guys laughed about it, but the ice cords. It does have ice cords. Now, the only thing different is it's 6 extra pieces of rope, Dextron rope, and it gives extra security about halfway down on the hex beam. That gives extra support just in case.
Flexibility.
Flexibility, and not really flexibility, just so it doesn't bend as much, because I've seen pictures where they're basically bent all the way around, just depending on where you are and how much heavy snow you get.
Inside out, yeah.
Yeah, they just go flop all the way down. But if you leave them, they'll actually come back up. I've heard people say that, they come right back up. It's like, seriously?
What are your extreme winters like?
Here in Calgary, they're not too bad. I've had this up for about a year now. I got it about October. About October when I put it up in the air. Had a gentleman come up here and did it for me. So have no issues with it. It's been we've had really good winds, 90, 100 kilometer an hour winds here, depending. And like I said, the tower is from the bottom of the faceplate is 40 feet, and then it sits up about 5 more feet on the aluminum pole. So that's
So what,
go ahead.
What brand is it? What's guns?
The tower?
No, the hex beam.
Oh, it's an NA4RR.
Molson, that's the link I sent you.
Yeah.
So
it's not that expensive. The spreaders are like.
I found up some of my emails that I had from last year. I kind of went through everything. Price, taxes, everything in. So it's about $775 US. That's for everything I picked up. So the hex beam kit, I got the split beads for it, and of course the extra ice cords.
And it's much cheaper here in the United States, from what the website said.
Yeah,
no,
but
I haven't called them, but I know what
yeah,
what they
it's
were.
just base price 600 or 650, I think it is for the hex beam. And then so the price that I have here was about a year ago, so $774 US. So that was the total kit, everything shipped to my door in Calgary, and I had it in about a week. So from Florida to Calgary, we had it in about a week, which was nice.
Tell us about the rotor.
The rotor is a CDE tail twister. It's a bit of an overkill for this bad boy. This tail twister it's heavy, and it will actually withstand quite a bit of wind load on it, from what I was been told. But it doesn't with the hex beam on there, because the hex beam's only, what is that now, 25 pounds at most. 25 pounds. That's fully assembled without the mast pipe hooked up to it,
and without the ice and snow.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So you need a beefy rotor so you can operate during those winter months.
Yeah. I mean, I got a really good deal when somebody said they had a tail twister. I didn't know much about it. It's like, yeah, sure, why not? I got it shipped from BC to here.
Right.
I think it was like $300, and yeah, the thing's been phenomenal.
Yeah, it's not like it's a Radio Shack TV rotor, right?
No, it's a little bit up there. I mean, if you were to probably buy the same idea brand new, you're looking at probably $1,100 on DX engineering and stuff like that. Right. Now that's Canadian, so a little bit cheaper US. But yeah, and then the pipe, like I said before, the pipe is scheduled 40. I'm using the 1.5-inch pipe, so the base plate of that hex beam is about 1 inch. You can use 1 inch to go inside or 1.5 inches to go outside. So I'm using a scheduled 40 1.5 inch, so I went outside the actual base plate, and then that's why you see the pipe there. You can just barely see it, but the pipe the bottom base plate is inside the scheduled 40.
Right.
And it's about a 10-foot pipe. I should have got longer, but whatever. And yeah, so the specs on the beam that I have, that I found online, or that I actually had emailed to me, the gain on this thing that they're telling me from NA4R is approximately about 5.5 dB gain from this antenna. The front and back ratio is about 20 dB gain on this hex beam. The SWR between 6 to 20. I've never had it this high, but they're saying between 2.1 on the SWR, but I've never had it. I don't run a tuner on my radio, never have, and it's been super low. Like right now, I'm on a band right now, and if I key up, I'm very low, 1.1 to 1.2 on the SWR. And
I have found. Good.
No, but.
No, I have found too many hams think that a flat VSWR, if they have anything else, it's not acceptable, which is not true.
Yeah. Now when I run the amplifier, it goes up a little bit, but not very much.
No, I was just going to ask you that. So, with your Canadian license, you can do up to 200 watts, correct?
That's correct.
And so then now with your amplifier,
250 with the on the PEP side.
Okay.
And I just knock it back. Like when I was doing it last week, I had it cranked up and didn't realize I had the switch on. It's like, oh no. And then I usually drive it on low, and yeah, it's like, oh crap. I was actually watching the YouTube. It's like, oh no, and then knocked everything back. So when I come back, the guys that said I was doing 50 watts, it's like that's still too high, and I cranked it right back.
We do that on 11 meters all the time. That happens on 11 meters all the time.
Yeah, it's 12 watts. No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Yeah. I thought I heard 1,600 watts last week when you were operating. I was like, wow, that's
it will do. This thing will do 16, almost 1,700.
Wow.
Yeah, this thing, it will scream. I've had it peaked out quite a ways, and it's like, nope, I don't want to do that. I want the longevity of the tubes to last a while. Through the pictures on the site here, or on my QRZ, was the first amplifier I picked up. This is the second one that has all the hardback mods. So, yeah. So the one I got's a bit better shape, and it has all the new mods into it, which is really nice. I figured for the deal, I sold it to a buddy of mine back in Ontario, and then kept the tubes because I had 2 brand new tubes in it, and yeah, it works great.
That's awesome.
So N5 SKT is asking, did you look around at different hex beams, or was you already kind of set on this one? I was interested if you looked at the KIO.
I did look at KO. I did look at NA4RR. The only downfall with KO, they were a bit of delayed on shipping out. I think when I looked at KO, he was I think he was like about a week behind. He wasn't feeling well and stuff like that. So
Right.
I figured, why not? And his price was a bit cheaper. MFJ does the same type of idea through. MFJ does have a hex beam, but their price out here was just unreal. As Daniel know, they have a Radio World out there in Toronto, but they have co-owner out here in Calgary as well, which is GPS Central. And
Molson, you got a comment about that, don't you? I can see Molson's face.
Well,
He snorted.
it's just
You snorted, so
sure,
I know there's.
I'm sure Michelle can attest to this, but I said it before. I think I said it last week. It ends up being cheaper to buy from the States and bring up something than it is to buy from Radio World in Toronto.
It was because it was $1,200.
Yeah,
and that's without tax.
And there's no duties on ham radio gear coming from the States.
You will get sometimes you will get nailed with. They won't call it duty. They'll call it brokerage fee. Because
you're gonna
you got to pay the brokerage fee, and I got nailed through that with the hex beam. So in total, like for my hex beam was $1,000, almost $1,050, with everything included, which it's not too bad.
That's why I ship it to the U.S. Ship It shop and then go across and
pick it up.
Yeah.
Or else Scout 75 just throws it over the line.
There you go. Drive by.
So another question about
Joe,
go ahead.
No. I was saying, do we want to
guys.
open up? Do we want to open up a whole bunch of questions? I know you've been recording some questions here. Let's just get into.
Well, there's some that's popped up while we're actually talking about the antenna that's on subject. Jody was wondering about the. Let me think about my words here. How did you get that hex beam erected? Did you put it together and then pull it up?
How much did that hurt your brain to try and think of how not to say, how did you get it up?
See what happens when we do a Molson beer snack swap.
I love
Howdy,
it.
gang.
Hey, beer snack.
I love it. That's
So in other words, do you have your tower on a tilt, or did somebody have to go up and pull that joker up?
Actually, I got a guy to climb it up for me because I'm not climbing it. Back then I was like 240 some pounds, and that man doesn't climb towers. I'm not afraid of heights. It's just when that little bit moves up in the air, I don't like that.
I understand. I purposely lost weight for a few months before I went up to the top of my 40-foot tower.
Yeah, and it's only like 22 feet above my roof because I got a little bungalow here, and it's like, yeah, not doing it. But I got no problem going on the roof. I got no problem going a bit higher up, but not to where the rotator is or all the way up there. So
it's just when it gets to swaying. Like,
when it gets
please don't sneeze.
Exactly. It's like nope. So I got a guy to come in here to help me put it up on the tower. Basically, I got a rotator plate. They could just see where the rotator sits, and then a top plate with a bearing. We installed all that, and then it took about 2.5 hours to put everything up there. So basically, the rotator plates, the beam, everything was on the ground, and by the time we were up there, it was up there in 2.5, 3 hours at most.
Not too bad.
Yeah, and I already had the rotator, or not the rotator. Sorry, I already had the hex beam built in my backyard. I could share the pictures here. I think I do have them kicking around somewhere. Let's see if I can find them
I
here.
think it'd be easier to build it on the ground and put it up than while you're there trying to put it together.
It is because damn, where is that? There we go. Let's see if I have this right. There we go. I do have it here. Let me see if I can share this. What do I share here? Share screen?
Yeah, that'll work probably.
let's go to you guys right here and share. Okay, see this now?
Now
Here we go. Here we go.
Okay, so I'm going to minimize you guys
Yeah,
here for a
make it-
second.
And make that bigger.
It's loading up. There we go. All right. So, don't mind the small yard. This is the hex beam all dismantled and ready to go up. So now when you get the hex beam brought in, it's not painted. So I put a non-metallic spray paint on it. Just sprayed it silver. You can spray it whatever color you would like. And then I clear coat it with a UV protective as well, because Calgary is known for having a lot of sun out here. So we get about 330 some days of sun a year. Quite a bit of sun. So I put a UV protectant on that thing, so it works really, really well. Up top of the screen, you can see all the bands for the wires down to 6 right up to 20. The pictures aren't, I was just myself and the girlfriend was building it, so I kind of missed a couple of steps when I took pictures. So, this here is the cords that go around the hex beam for support. And then the middle ones are the ice cords. So it's just 6 extra cords that you see. Now, the next picture is in my backyard. This is in October of last year. Yeah, I know. My little baby girl. Little baby girl. Now, mind you, this backyard is not very big. So the element
in my backyard.
No, because this whole antenna is 21 feet from element all the way over here to the element all the way to my left side of the screen, which you can't see, or from closest to you all the way to the back by the lawnmower. That's 21 feet long, and it just barely fit. So next picture, you'll see it takes up quite a bit of real estate in the backyard here. But this is just the spreader arms on, and the top of the support arms that hold everything up to give it that lovely umbrella shape. Next one, because I just didn't want to take pictures left, right, and center for each element. These are all the elements put together. So right now, we're looking at, the driven side where you point to. So basically in here, all the elements come from, 20, 6, 17, 18, I think it is. I can't remember all the bands. But all of it's in the middle, and it's actually pointing at you. I do have an arm in front of me here, sorry, right up top. You could just see the support cord right at the top of your screen. And then right down below, you could just see the other one as well. I don't know if you can see my mouse or not.
Yeah.
It just goes over to the left-hand side here. Now, if I can zoom in here, you gentlemen can see, and everyone can see the ice cords. So.
Oh, I see. Yes.
So you look here, and this angle that comes right down, or you can look at the other side, that comes right where my hand is, or the mouse is going right up. That's the ice cords. So about halfway down the element is where the ice cords attaches. And that just gives
the support arm, though, correct?
Yeah, it just goes support arm. It's just a Dextron rope that goes. Now, if I move up a bit more, you can see on the bottom of your screen, just a right-hand side.
Got it. 6 cords, 6 arms. Makes sense.
Yep, and you can just see on the screen where that sits, and that just sits up to the top, and they just clamp in there. You just clamp with little pliers, and that's it. Good to go.
Very smart. Very smart.
It is. It's really, really smart the way he designed this. And then the next one, because we were hoisting it up on the tower, it's actually up on the tower. So this is looking. I am pointing. Where am I here? I'm on the
aiming in the sky.
I actually am on the roof. So we actually have it up before I put my wire up in the air. So the extended arm coming out here and the rope coming down, that's for my wire. And then the beam is pointing north. So the open spot here where you can just see the two not really elements, but the 2 ropes is the front door, I call it. So I take that and spin it which way I want, and everybody hears me.
Antenna boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like the old it looks like an upside down umbrella, which is great.
Looks like
Then,
Parkman from this angle.
That's what I thought of too. Pac-Man.
Yeah, that works too. But yeah, and then I just this was on the back side of my house, a little further back, still pointing towards the north, and then the rotators here attached on the base plate, and then I have the bearing up top. I do have a bearing on it, so there's no load on the rotator.
Now north for you. I'm pointing north. Are you shooting over the pole towards Asia?
For me,
Yes.
so if I point north, bear with me.
Or according to a Smith chart. Do you use a Smith chart?
Not very often, no. So if I point north, I'm
Smith
going
Don,
up north.
Don, hold on.
Come
Don,
on.
what's a Smith chart for?
It's that big round thing with degrees and
No, that's the Great Circle map.
it's a great.
I have
circle map.
I have
Okay.
one of those too.
That's the
Okay.
The
it
Smith
starts with an
chart
A.
is
As what is it? It starts with an A. Isn't
azimuth.
Azimuth.
It?
Azimuth. I'm sorry, azimuth chart. I'm sorry. I'll just be quiet.
Go write your lines.
Yeah. So I go straight north when I'm here. So I go up towards Northwest Territories, and then straight up that way when I go north. But if I want to go towards Asia or Japan, I'm what is that now? 280 degrees from me. From my location here in Calgary. So it's almost 270-ish. So I'm off the west coast. So I got to point towards Vancouver to get that way. Now, let's see here. I think that's pretty well it. I just snapped a couple pictures up and down. Now, if you guys can see, I don't know if you can see it very well. Let me see if I can zoom in here and the picture quality stays nice. See up top here, right in the middle?
Mm-hmm.
So it's built a little weird, but the air mast, the top connector, that's where they have the coax coming out of. I put a 90 right there. That's what they recommend. And then right below it that's where they have the split beads. So I think
CMC,
you get,
a choke.
The one, the
yeah,
one, basically.
it's a one-to-one split bead choke because I already had the coax here. They call it split beads. If you don't have your coax with the end connector on it yet, then you get the ones that just slide right over, and then you just use a shrink wrap and away you go. But I just went for this one here. It's I think 6 of them on here. They tell you how to do it on the site, which is great. And I already had a 90-degree angle, and then the coax just goes through the center hole here, and you can just see what I meant earlier about the 1.25 scheduled 40 pipe. So it's right over that hole that they provide. And I know the antenna looks pretty close here, but it's not. I think we're about 2.5, 3 feet away, maybe 4.
Optical illusion. Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty well it. That's with the wire up. So earlier when I was mentioning about the wire, so this here is I got from, where did I get that from? Maple Leaf Communications, from Bob Morton. I don't know if they're still active or not, but when I bought this wire, so it's a 75 ohm coax that goes straight down. That's about 51 feet. I have, I think it's ladder line, but I don't know what the ohmage is. I can't remember. And then all the way down, you can't even see it because I don't have it that far. But there's, I think the ladder line is 20 feet, and it's connected at the bottom end here, a little further down, but it's connected as one piece. So it's like a big loop. It's like almost like a folded dipole. And then at the top, it's connected. So one piece is connected to the loop here, to the coil. So it goes down. The ladder line connects to one side. The ladder line goes all the way down. It comes back, folded over itself, and then it connects us to the Dextron, the flex wire that they provide, and it weaves inside out. And I think it's 42 feet or 36 feet or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it is. I can look it up here after. It's let's say 36 feet, and that's from insulator to insulator, from right to left, the whole wire, and that gives you your 40 and 80. And then the wire that connects right here, you could just see it pointing over, and there's the insulator here. He was just experimenting on a 20-meter kit, so he sent that with me too, and I think I paid like an extra $5 or $10 just for the wire, and I added it to it. I didn't buy it here; I bought it back in Ontario, and it works great. Not as good as a hex beam, but it works really well for a wire, which I'm surprised.
So Jody's taking notes here. Did the hex beam kit ship with those ferrites you were mentioning earlier?
Yep, that came with it. So everything that shows up there except the Schedule 40 pipe and the coax is what I got with the kit. Cool. You got all
See, the Canadians are looking for solutions. Jody is a VE5, and Michelle, in case you didn't know.
Okay.
And you know, they asked a question about the snow or the weather before, and most guys down in the States, you know, especially those Florida guys, don't understand what a cold winter can do to an antenna up here, right?
Oh yeah.
So thank you for being the test bunny or the guinea pig for me and Jody, and knowing that it can handle a Calgary winter is you know, it's what do you call it? Well, it's reassuring, that's for sure. Before
yeah.
You know. But and you know how you talked about the umbrella, like, you know, it some people say that it pops down and then springs back.
Yep.
So I've heard that before. I have two buddies with a hex beam in a bad storm. One of them, they're snapped, and the other one it just bounced right back.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I guess it depends on. There's a lot of factors, obviously, right? Like how good your spreader kit is and everything. But at least I know that yours lasted. So.
Oh yeah,
that's not bad. $770 is pretty good.
So that's US.
Yeah, but still.
That's US. So I mean,
$1,000. Go look at the MFJ one. It's $1,200, right?
It's $1,200.
Yeah.
Plus taxes. It's like, seriously, like wow. And then the what was it now? The NA4R1 NA4RR. They're really, I can't complain for what it does, right? So it works. I'm on their site right now.
Yeah, it's not that bad. Oh, sorry.
No, so basically right now it's $660. That's for the base, but if you want extras put on there like the ice cords, depending where you are, and then so the ice cords and stuff like that, then yeah, you just get all the extras for it, and away you go.
See, the biggest thing that bothers me about that kit is it doesn't have 40.
That's the only thing, and I tried to get a 40-meter kit for it because I've heard you can, but I couldn't justify it how would it actually work. So I know you actually get an extra spreader arm that goes up and a 40-meter wire around it, but it's one coax, so you'd have to run a different feed line down for another coax, like for another band.
Oh yeah,
that's the only thing I could think of, unless they're doing something because it's an extra add-on, right? Because in the, I think on the assembly on NA, I think NA4RR in the assembly it shows. I think it did show links on the 40-meter kit, but I can't seem to find it.
Joe, do we have any more questions? Do we have any questions pending?
We have 3.
Go ahead.
All right, give her. Let's see what I can do.
All right, some of them I think would be kind of easy. Have you ever tried running a DAW instead of rat gear?
A DAW. I was thinking about running a DAW, running just everything through the computer, but I just couldn't get right into it. I figured, DAW works really well, but if your computer crashes, well, it kind of would screw me over too because I'd lose a flex. But you just lose your whole audio. You got nothing, right? So basically, you got a microphone going into a external sound card, which we never talked about earlier. But yeah, you would lose everything.
Yeah.
So having the physical rack, because us hams like to play with buttons.
And racks too. We like to play with racks too. That's the thing.
Hey now.
And that's the downfall to the way I have mine set up. I am using software, splitter, software whatever.
Yeah, duh.
Yeah, nothing says DAW in it, but I'm using the factory software that come with the mic, and then I'm using Voice Meter to split it to the radios. And if my computer's not on, I can't use it.
Exactly. Yeah, you're using Banana Voice or whatever it is.
Yeah, just for the radios. I used to use it for this too, but since this mic come with its own software, it's pretty good.
Oh, nice.
So, and then SKT was curious earlier if you knew K1GMM.
If I knew K1GMM,
he does a YouTube channel. It's a Mountain something.
Mountain Man. Yep, I've spoken to him, Steve. I spoke to him a couple times, called him, and he's the one that actually helped me set up here as well. So he was one of the mentors that helped me get in.
He's got about as many cameras as he does audio gear, I think.
Oh yeah,
it's always changing.
He's played with the DAW as well, and I was gonna go play with it, but it's like, yeah.
Dang it, Scout. Dang it. I was trying to avoid that, and he had to go and do it.
Oh, now it's in my head. God darn it.
Now I need to get in a Volkswagen Golf and go find a cart, a chair on the side of the road.
Oh, Jesus. Great.
And one more from Hardy Dirks, if he's maybe still waiting, is how Equalizer a good place to start?
Yep, it's a great place to start if you don't want to go this far into the audio setup. But yeah, definitely you can run it with Heil and their EQ. There's WH2i, I think it is. They have one as well. They have like a 10 band or 11 band EQ that you can pick up that you can run any microphone through, except powered microphones. If you need 48 volts, then of course you can need a preamp to run it. But other than that, then yeah, you can just run the W2HY, I think it is, which will work just as fine and just as get as good quality out there as well. And that will run through a headset. You can run a headset through that, or a decent microphone. That's not powered, of course, because you definitely need that phantom power.
Hey guys, I think we need to point out, we started this show literally on time. We went right into it, and this has been Molson, would you take the honors? I think this is most appropriate time for us to.
Oh yeah,
please.
So Michelle, we have a tradition here. If you come on the show, we nominate. So I'd like to make a motion to have Michelle brought into the Ham Radio Clubhouse as an honorary member. Do we have a second?
Second.
However, he has to answer some rapid fire questions if he agrees.
Oh yeah.
Hold on, I just need to clarify, Michelle. It doesn't do much. It's just like it's like a POTA participation trophy. Okay?
Oh, it is not. It is not. It is not. This is a ham club. This is ham radio.
Hey! There's a motion on the floor. Quit arguing. There's a motion on the floor. Did we get a second?
Call for the question.
I second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Hey.
Michelle's like, me?
What do I get myself into?
Motion passed. Welcome.
Yeah.
I'll definitely do the rapid fire quest, but nobody told me there was a test at the end of this. Come on now.
No, this is easy. This is easy. All right. First question: steak, chicken, or fish?
All the above, but definitely fish. I love my fish. I was raised in the East Coast, so the fish is one of those.
What kind of fish?
Salmon, trout. It's all good.
Okay. If you were to have steak, how would you take your steak?
I would go medium rare.
Okay. Favorite snacks?
I try to avoid it. Snack for sure, because I was big, and I love making butter tarts.
Avoid barbecue potato chips, correct? Avoid barbecue. Am I right?
What, did you guys see the back of my cupboard or what? when I opened that earlier because there's actually some up there too.
Oh, barbecue potato chips.
Don's not coming over to your house.
Oh.
It's actually right there.
Oh
Ruffles.
my God!
Ruffles too, so it holds more of the flavor.
Oh,
Exactly. But Daniel, have you tried the KFC ones yet?
No, I haven't.
There's actually KFC. I seen it the other day, and it's like, nope, not doing it. Not doing it.
I like Miss Vicky's, man.
Ah,
What's your favorite beverage?
like as an alcohol or
Whatever. Yeah, whatever. Break it down for us.
when I do drink, very rarely, it's usually some Crown Royal and Coke for sure. Water and then Coke. A cola. The big red can, of course.
Okay. Cigars.
What's
at
your
all?
favorite band?
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna save that one, but go ahead, right to it. What's your favorite band? Now, be careful how you answer this question.
No, just answer it.
Yeah.
Because
It
there's a
ain't
trap
com-
door. There's a trap door under you if you don't answer right.
Yeah, well, it's not gonna open up because it's not country. I know that. I'm a very EDM guy. I love my EDM and trance, and it's weird, but definitely love it.
Dude, you work in a kitchen. When you said you have your Coke, that's not the drink Coke. I know. No, I'm joking.
No, we're not that bad of a kitchen. Come on now. But some days people are like, "Are we on acid or something?" Because the music's just unreal. Because it's trance and all that, just wonk. It's all good. But Ben, love my Rush and Tragically Hip.
Rush. There you go.
Of course.
Good man. Good man.
Yeah. Joe Walsh.
So what was really asking, what's your
Walsh, so
favorite
wow.
And you know
HF
he
band?
has his ticket too?
Yes, he does. Oh yeah, long
Yes.
time. Long time.
Yep. I tried to get him once, but it was too much of a pile up, and yeah. One day I'll do it. One day.
So the real question was, what was your favorite HF band? This is a radio show, man.
Hold on. There's a story behind that, but
Beer snack started that one.
the original question was, "What's your favorite band?" Because that was one of the rapid fire. Like, what's your favorite band to play on? Like to get DX.
Oh, I thought they meant
No.
band as
No.
listening.
But you're not the first. You're not the first because the question was asked, and somebody came back with what was it, Nirvana, and Don's like, "Wait, what?" It took Don a moment to realize what had happened. I'm over here going, yes, they answered the question. They answered the question that was asked because they did it right. But what is your favorite band to play radio on?
Oh, there you go. 20. I like playing on 20. It seems to be like, for me, it's great. Like, it's quiet for me out here. When I lived in Ontario, the experience I had out there to here is two different spectrums. Other than the wire, I had a wire here as well for the longest time. Like, just to last year, I put the hex beam up, but the wire, I had two wires. I had an offset fed dipole that went from 6 down to 80, and I kept getting noise, like always calling S9 in Ontario. So I thought I built the antenna wrong, and then I came out here to Calgary, and I had it shaped in a weird configured L. So it went from the tower out over my tree, and then it wrapped around a hydro pole behind my house in the alleyway and made it as an L. I kid you not. And it actually, the SWR was great, and the receive signal was about an S3 to an S4. And when I have the hex beam up right now, I'm getting roughly. I'm actually listening right now on one of the bands, but it's not even on. I'm just listening or just on. But it's I got about an S3 of noise, ground noise. That's whatever which way I point it. It's really nice. But 20 is my favorite.
How do you like your ICOM 5100?
Really good. I love it. I bought it
too.
brand new, and
Me too.
yeah, I
Yep.
use a lot of D-Star. And then behind me here over my right shoulder, I got a DMR as well. I was more in the DMR before, and then when I picked up the ICOM, it's like, geez, yeah, the audio quality is a little better on the D-Star and stuff like that. But I first started off with the D-Star using, you guys are gonna love this, but this little bad boy, a little DV dongle.
Oh, I had one of those. Yes, about 15 years ago. Yes.
And this one still has it. It still works
Yep.
phenomenal.
They came in blue and they came in red, depending on the band, I believe.
No,
wait,
the blue
how they
one.
interface?
Yeah, so this one was actual computer interface. So you have a little
interface.
Yeah, so this one here ran through the computer. The red one actually ran your radio into the computer.
Correct.
And you had to get two different ones, one for UHF, one for VHF.
Correct. And for when you ordered. If you have the capability, I'm over here on the Connecticut network a lot, 69 Charlie. So if you could ever flip over and find and ever, what I really like about the Icon 5100, coming from a 20, the 880, again, the screen size obviously just makes it really nice.
Yeah. I mean, when I first got into the DMR stuff like that, this is back in Ontario. When I got here, I really was like, how can I get DMR without having a repeater? Because where I was working before was up here in just south of Jasper, called the Columbia Icefields. So no cell phone service. We had just internet, and it was kind of crappy, and that was it. So it was really crappy. So I picked up a hotspot. So I picked one of those up. So I was using my little DMR with the hotspot, and it seems to work pretty good. But now I use my 5100 with my hotspot. But we do have a local repeater. We have a couple of local repeaters down here, but it's easier for me just to log into a repeater, and that's it. Or to a not a repeater, sorry, but to a link. I can just link directly into where you are and talk directly from here.
Yeah, my local repeater, I can change it out pretty much too. I can switch it over.
Yeah.
Get off the Connecticut network, go somewhere else. So
exactly, yeah.
Look forward to working with you someday. So thank you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Bye, Daniel.
Yeah, I said something about him eating chips for an hour and a half.
Molson just played Elvis on us. Molson has left the building.
He did say goodbye in the chat room.
Yeah, he did.
He did. Yeah.
He did.
So all right, here's a question. Wait, all right.
Go
I have a technical question on the hex beam here, and I know Don's over there in the chat. So if we can't get it, I'm sure that'll come in. Why is the hex beam fed top down?
I don't know. That was just the way they built it. I'm assuming, because I know NA4RR built it that way. IKO same way, and I think the MFJ is the same way as well.
Interesting.
I don't understand why it's built from top down. It's weird.
Right, because it's just you got a feed point. Why don't you just put the feed point at the bottom? Like, why is the feed point at the top of the pipe come all the way down? So it never made sense to me when I was doing research on the hex beam websites and stuff like that, and I could not figure it out.
Yeah.
So Don, if you have an answer for that,
come on, SKT, cough it up.
Well, I would have to think just off the top of my head. Maybe it's got something to do with impedance or something to do with the tuning of it. I'm thinking that because of my Gap Titan DX, is the feed point is technically in the middle of it, so it kind of makes it a vertical dipole. But it's got.
I think KAMRD has the answer here. He says the hex beam was designed in Australia. To them, it's right side up.
I love it.
Just like how the toilets flush counterclockwise.
I love it.
It is what it is. It is what it is, right?
So again, it's like why would it be fed from the top? Because I've seen that the Buddy Hex and apparently the MFJ or one of the MFJs feeds from the bottom. I'm not sure about the radio waves one, but again, like everything I've seen with regards to build your own, it says feed up here and work your way down. So
I think the WD4 saying his MFJ feeds from the bottom.
Yeah.
Now, Michelle, can you work HF right now and talk to us and talk live on stream at the same time?
I probably could. I'd have to.
Because if you would like, if you feel comfortable, we would like to see if guys want to, work you right now. Well,
the only downfall is it's gonna be a little tricky for me because the audio from the radio, which I switch cameras so you can actually see it.
Right.
So this is the operating position here. I'll get rid of this bad.
I love how everything just kind of surrounds him.
This dispatch console.
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking of. Just like work for me.
It something. It was when I bought the desk. So just go do this real quick here. So when I go back to this camera view, once it switches here, half of this desk, I got it the first part of COVID, and it was roughly about here, all the way over, got it for free. And then it had a little straight piece down here. And then about, I don't know, 4 weeks later on, about a month or so later on, someone had this whole part, and they were giving it away for free too.
Nice.
So I'm thinking, holy crap, I wonder if I can make one desk. So right where I'm kind of, my chair is they had a piece where it was cupboards and everything else. So what I did is I took the cupboard out and then took the two pieces of arms and made it as one, supports down there. And then instead of extending it, so damn long down the way, I just made a shorter piece here, left it and just angled it. And then for the riser here and the one on the left-hand side, I got the father-in-law to just make bigger ones so I could put my audio rack in there because they were just a little bit smaller. They were just, the bolts were just a bit, there was just maybe half an inch too short for the originals that were here, but they weren't as high up either. So it gave me when I raised it up, I think it's like almost a foot and a half right now from ground up or from the desk up. And it actually made me put the radio right underneath in front of me as well, which was nice. So I can actually have a radio here and I'll put the flex up in there once it comes in Friday, which would be nice. But yeah, and then that was it. The fun,
Well,
the fun beginning.
I mean, we can possibly modify. Come on, I'm here with two smart people here in the clubhouse. You as our new member. If you want to operate, we'll post a frequency here, or maybe we could figure out how to help out with audio here, guys. Or...
The only thing is I just can't get audio pipe from the radio in to the computer. That's the only thing. I just don't have that hooked up right now. Now, if I have if we were doing another week or two,
all right, Joe,
I
Brett,
probably could hear you.
Go.
Well,
See,
are you sure you can hear me, Joe?
I did last time.
Joe's doing the chalkboard with all the equations right now in his head, and and the E equals and.
About another week, I can do this for sure because I'll have the flex and I can pipe everything through, which is great because I have the external audio card, which is like right below the rotator box here. So the ID 5100 is here, rotator box, and right below you can just see the green light. And if I get really loud, you can see it peak up a bit.
Yep.
That's the M audio, and that's where I can pipe from the flex back into you guys. I have it ran up to the cupboard here on my right hand side. Let me see if I can do this. I don't know how the hell I'm going to do this. Oh, I know how I can do it. Let me just change my speakers. And then I'll just pipe it to my computer.
And we deeply appreciate you taking the time here to.
Oh, that's no problem. I got no problem playing. Okay, so now, guys, can you hear me okay?
Wow,
Yeah.
You're 5'9".
Yep. I'm doing double mic, just so you guys know. Double pumping.
Get your transmitters ready.
A lot of us do that all the time.
Plugging the headset in.
Phrasing.
Now, what band? I'm on 20. Let me find a quiet band here, or quiet frequency.
Tell you what, if you could work Joe, look, how's this sound? Why don't you work Joe Brett first? Throw a something in the private chat if we want, or however you want to do it, and then if it works, we'll post it, and
Okay. And now I can move my beam, so look out, Joe.
Ah.
Joe's hair is gonna blow in the wind.
You can see his front just tickling away here.
It is.
What band there, Joe?
Well, I'm
Or
on
what
20.
frequency?
245 is where I happen to be sitting.
Perfect. Quiet for me. Find my foot switch. Where's that? Victor Alpha 6 Hotel Echo, Mexico.
Victor Alpha 6 Hotel Echo Mexico K5 YVY.
I got actually someone coming on my end here. They're doing about almost an S8, but I don't, hold on, just so I can find them. Yeah, they're at 240, 248. Give me a second here. Can you go to 240, 244? Is that better? You quiet on your end?
Yep.
QRZ Victor Alpha 6 Hotel Echo Mexico.
Y'all hear him on stream? Hear my
Okay.
audio?
I hear you on stream.
Yeah, I was at make sure people could hear. Victor Alpha 6 Hotel Echo Mike K5 YVY.
You really know, but I can try it out here. K5YVY Victor Alpha 6 Hotel Echo Mexico.
Give me a minute.
And just so you guys know, audio 1, 2, that's only 300. Or just shy of 300. I'm turned right down this time. Not, that's where I was before.
Where are you guys at?
Pardon me? I don't know what he's doing. Oh, he's
It sounds
tuning.
like we're on a spacecraft right now.
Oh, can y'all still hear it?
No, the audio just dropped.
No,
Oh.
I feel like I'm in 2001 Space Odyssey right now. Open the pod bay doors, Joe.
If you really want me to open the doors, I can.
Oh, yeah.
We'll just flip the switch.
That blue light in the shack is going to go dim.
Yeah, I mean, so when I have this, I'm just gonna pull this off for 1 second. So when I have the flex running, is up top. This screen is my 32-inch TV screen I took from the bedroom because we don't use it anymore. I have blue lights around it as well. That runs my Flex software. So that will run the Flex. In the middle, which you can see you guys tapping away, that's just my searching for QRZ and whatever else. My left-hand side is I run N3 FJP software. I don't know if you've ever heard of that or not.
Yes.
I did buy it. I really like it. I was using N1MM for a while, but this one is I don't know what it is. I tried this one out the one day and I fell in love with it. Just because when you type in someone's call sign, it actually coordinates with QRZ.
Yes.
If you have a subscription or not, even if I don't have a QRZ subscription, and it actually will give me, once I put the call in, it will give me the address or whatever they have on QRZ. They'll give me the location. It'll put the grid square, state, their name. I could put whatever power I'm using for, and then time on and time off. And I just put this. I put their call in the signal report, and that's pretty well it. It's
I like them for that because they'll pull the information, but they won't. In order to put it, like if you were to feed it back to QRZ, you'd have to have the subscription.
Yeah. I don't have a subscription for QRZ. So, but it gives you very minimal stuff, which is nice. Like it'll just give the address, whatever you have on QRZ. And then once it's, if you do have a full subscription to QRZ, it actually pops up a picture. So, like Izzo or Joe or yourself, if you have something on your QRZ, your main picture, it'll actually pop up on the corner up here will be, boop, there's a picture of your shack and it gives all your information.
Oh, interesting.
It's great. As well as on this screen here, I know you guys can't see it, but I have, it's a map. So it's my world map and it has my location of where I am up here of a star. So if I type in basically like Joe's, I'm just going to delete Joe's here and put it back in. So K5YVY, as soon as I put it in and I push tab, it gives me everything else, but then it gives me where he is, like the location where he is on the map. Basically, I'm up here and then down in the bottom, gives me roughly where he is. And then as well, it gives me the bearing as well. And he's 2,720K from me. door to door, which is great.
Victor Alpha 6, Hotel Echo Mike, Kilo 5, Yankee, Victor Yankee.
Kilo 5, Yankee, Victor Alpha 6, Hotel Echo, Mexico, Calgary. How you doing?
Doing good. Got you about a 5'8" in here to Mississippi, Mike Sierra.
Very good. The 58 got you at a 57, 57 here to Western Canada. That's still sounding pretty good.
A QSL. Appreciate the contact. Have fun tonight.
Oh, we will. Thanks very much. I almost pushed a button there, but yeah, I was almost pushed a button to talk away on both. But when I get the Flex, I can pretty well just use the boom mic and then just talk away. All I have to do is just hit the foot switch, and it'll be broadcasted out or out from there, right? So, but yeah, no, it's a good little setup. Works really well. I like it. Like this part is super easy, right? So keep it simple.
Our buddy Richard K6RDJ is a trucking ham. He's in western Oklahoma right now. He states he's hearing you about 5'3", sitting in the truck right now in the semi.
Oh, nice. He's in Oklahoma. So you're about 120. Give me a second here, Richard. Let's just try something a little different.
Richard, get ready. Put on that seatbelt, Richard.
Oh, yes. Put it on. Let me know how it goes, Rich. Victor America 6, Hotel Echo, Mexico, Calgary. Oh, wait, that didn't work. Hold on. There we go. That should be a little bit better. Victor Alpha 6, Hotel Echo, Mike. Up to 54. There we go.
Y'all jump in and get your contacts with him, man.
Yeah, somebody wants to jump in, go ahead. See if we can
14244, guys. Don says he can hear okay, but not you.
I can hear okay. You hear okay?
QRZ, this is Victor Alpha 6, Hotel Echo, Mexico, Calgary. Anyone, anywhere. Again, sorry? All right, Kilo Charlie 5, Uniform X-Ray Charlie, good evening. Name is Mike, and of course, you know the location is Calgary. How copy, over? Sorry about that. Uniform Echo Oscar, was that Roger? Okay, I got a bit of QR Mary here on the band. Uniform wow, let's try that one more time. Tongue twisted here. Kilo Charlie 5, Uniform Echo X-Ray, was that Roger? All right, Uniform X-Ray question mark. Okay, Uniform X-Ray Ocean. Sorry about that. I just muted the stream, so if you guys, I just muted you guys, so I don't hear the delay because it was kind of annoying. Give me 1 second here. Let's get this fixed up here. Just tab this out. And Rusty, good evening, Rusty. There, do you get Rusty there, Roger? What was the signal report? Sorry. There you go there, Rusty. I got you to 56, 56 here to Calgary. Go ahead. All right, 7-3s. Have a good day. QRZ. Okay, there's a big one. 9S. Go ahead.
Poor Shane. Blew up his computer.
Don't have his flex. Can't get on the stream.
He's got his phone. He can hop on the stream.
Exactly.
Oh, very good there, Marty. Well, you're sounding good here yourself. Got you at a beautiful 58, 58 to Calgary here, guys. Well, thanks very much. Like I said, just running the Heil headset here. Nothing fancy, and just the old backup radio, Yaesu FT 950, and the hex being pointed your direction.
Joe, here's a question. Should we spend? Jesse's asking if you should spend the money on a Heil headset.
Oh, Roger. Well, good luck with that. Hopefully, you get it up to the air and give us a call there. Go ahead.
If he just wants to. No, not these. Where's these?
Yeah, this is the regular set of Corsairs right here that I've been using.
Yamaha CM500.
All right, N9SQQ. Oh, the S9SQQ, Roger. All right, Roger. 7-3, good luck.
Whiskey 1 Foxtrot Yankee Golf.
All right, let's try that again here. I had the stream playing a little loud. I couldn't hear anybody else. Oh, it really get confusing. All right, let's try one more time. QRZ.
Whiskey 1 Foxtrot Yankee Golf.
Yeah, the station ending in the Yankee Golf. Yankee Golf, go ahead.
Whiskey 1 Foxtrot Yankee Golf.
Whiskey 1 Foxtrot Yankee Golf. 58 to Calgary, go ahead.
QSL 59 Connecticut 59 Charlie Tango. Catch you back on the stream. W1FYG.
All right, thank you. 7-3 and good luck.
I didn't hear about that. Josh blew his finals.
In that new little
Okay, there was a KD9 station, go ahead.
Raspberry Pi radio they've been playing with.
Okay, all right. I was about to say he didn't blow the 7610 up, did he?
Juliet, you're about a 58, 5-8 here to Calgary.
That's how you do it.
Good job, Izzo.
Good job, Izzo.
Almost 5'9" here.
All right, 7-3s and have a good night.
That's just the
There you
off-center fed dipole. 90 watts and off-center fed dipole.
Oh, it actually got you, eh, Izzo?
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice, 90 watts. There you go. And I got this thing turned down, so gotta like that. Do you want me to keep going, or?
Oh, that's up to you.
It's up to you.
It's your show, babe.
No. That's not mine. I'm just here to play.
Listen. We have a minimal requirement. We have to have one Canadian on stream. So we're still good right now.
So Michelle's token right now? Is that what you're saying?
Hey,
wow.
hey, I'll say he can fill in for Molson anytime. No, I'm only kidding.
Well, I got no problem. My days are off for Tuesday, so I got no problem jumping down here.
Look at that.
I can clear the slot or
Let
the
me ask you
slate for
something.
sure.
So now, where do you go from here now? Is there another rabbit hole you want to go down? Is there anything that you starting to pique your interest a little bit, and or are you pretty content right now? And you're just gonna.
I am
keep on going?
no, I'm quite content with the amp, with the beam, everything. Excuse me, everything seems to be really set where I like it. The only thing I'd probably do is I'm really looking forward. I mean, I started off with the SDRs with the 3000. Traded off a buddy with an older radio I had. He didn't like his 3000. It's like, well, I want to play with SDR, so I did the swap, and then I fell in love with it. It's a different software than the newer Flexes are right now. I think I use what is that system here? Give me 2 seconds. It's Power SDR is what they use, and then the other one is keep me think what the newer ones are. Just newer. Oh, I'm drawing a blank. It's not Power SDR. Smart SDR is the new one now. So I keep telling the girlfriend that I want to get the new SDR, so the 6400. flex, and then keep the 5,000 as a backup. You can do a
Now
little
let me ask
more
you.
with that.
You mentioned earlier that her father helped you do some stuff in the shack. Is there any interest of him getting his ticket, or maybe her, or
I want to get her to get her ticket, and she's like, "Why?" It's like, "Why not?" I said, you can have fun too. You can have fun too, and then um,
we can
when
talk across the house on
well,
radio?
yeah, not even that. If you see that that lovely FTDX 101D, and it's like $6,000, then I'd be like, "Hey, honey, we should get this instead of this." Then she'd be like,
That
"Oh,
could
I like
be
that too."
that could be a present for both of us. That's how you sell it.
Exactly. It's
As long as
it's an
as long as
anniversary
she's
gift.
not listening, as long as she's not listening right now. And if you need an
I have a
alibi,
feeling
we're always good for an alibi. So,
she's working.
oh, she's working.
Oh, but I have a feeling she's gonna jump on later on and see this a little
Team
bit later
replay.
on. She's gonna be like,
That's
"What do
okay.
you mean?" It's like,
That's
"Yeah,
okay.
you gotta go to bed, honey. Go to bed. Just don't watch it after an hour and a half."
Listen. You being in the culinary field, that's pennies compared to what if you were wanted to go into the culinary field or any other field. That it's
Yeah.
sky's the limit. So,
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Even with this too, sky's the limit too. I mean, you can just have a basic headset, $200 headset with a nice radio, and a really good antenna. So that's what gets it is the antenna. It's not the amplifier. It's not the $5,000 radio or even $10,000 radio. It's the antenna. The antenna makes it or breaks it. If you have a crappy antenna, you're not gonna do very good.
if that
Um,
antenna was to fall down or whatever beyond economical repair, we'll call it,
mhm.
would you buy another one, or do you kind of have your eyes? Would you say, hey, I want to try something different, maybe
For if I was out in a bigger area, like in a bigger like a property, and
footprint?
not
Yeah.
in the city of Calgary, I would probably go for a bigger antenna, like a bigger TH6 or something like that.
Mhm.
But for this location and for a city beam, definitely go back to the hex beam for sure.
Interesting.
Yeah, because I was believe it or not, I got a gentleman he's in Ontario, and he was asking me about my hex beam and everything else, and I told him about it, and I was on their Zoom meetings and all that for a while, and then he finally come back to me the last Zoom meeting I was on with him, and he's like, "Hey, guess what I bought?" It's like, "Oh, did you buy an amplifier?" And he's like, "No." He goes, "I got sitting in the garage," and he goes, "An NA4RR." It's like, "You didn't?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, "Well, when's it going up?" He goes, "It's going to cost me about $1,000 for concrete, this." It's like, "Let's go, hurry up." I said, "Get it up in the air, because it's you're
I'll
not
help
gonna,
you. I'll help you.
I'm a couple hours away, but
It's gonna get cold.
exactly." And he's north of Toronto. He's north of Oshawa, about half an hour. He's up in Omimi, and I told him, it's like, get it up in the air. It's like, come on. I said, because you're not gonna regret it. It's gonna be a great antenna.
All right, guys,
Just,
we're coming up
just
to.
drive the tower down into the permafrost. You won't have to worry about
That's what I was
concrete
thinking
at all.
of too. That's right.
Exactly.
Guys, we're coming up to the top of the hour. In the chat, any last questions? We're gonna call this last call right now. Any last questions?
Last call.
Last call. You know what that happens.
No last call. All right. All right. Did we have fun tonight, guys? Did we have fun for the first hour? I was shaping young minds. I'm sorry.
First 2 hours. First what? What, Joe Brett? What do you think? Like 90
No
minutes?
sleeping.
I'm sorry.
What?
Well, I know the point I jumped in because everybody was trying to delicately dance around how Michael gets it up, or Michelle gets it up. So,
And now we're hearing the audio of the TV that's over there. It's what's phenomenal, apparently.
Michelle, we cannot thank you enough. This was really a fun show. Team replay, podcast, whatever. This is going to be one of the. I think this is going to be. I'm going to predict that this is going to be one of those where people are going to want to watch us again, and they're going to hear about this, and we're going to redirect them to watch us for that newcomer who wants to start playing around with their audio enhancements. This is a great show, and we cannot thank you enough. This is really.
Oh, no worries. Glad
Well,
to come out. I'm quite impressed that everyone wants to see my little shack, right? to me, it's like, oh, it's just a radio and a audio rack. But people are like, no, it's more than that. It's like, how do you do this? How do you do this? And I've already had many of emails come in and they're like, how do you do this to your shack? It's like, bear with me a second. Let me figure out how to answer that properly, right?
It's like, ooh, shiny. How do we do that? How do you do
What's
that?
all the
Shining.
What's all the lights?
I have
Well,
to
thank
pay
you.
for it. Crap.
Yeah. Guess what?
It's like,
Like
wait,
I, like I
like
said,
way
no
before.
disrespect to the guys who collect stamps and coins, but I can't see it on. I don't feel that's why I don't collect stamps and coins and stuff. I play radio. I gotta play with stuff. I gotta fiddle with the knobs and.
Oh yeah, I mean, I like playing with the knobs on the 95 or the FT 950 here, the 950. But now that I've dabbled into the flex, it's to me it's I just love it.
Any
Yeah,
last words? Any last words, Michelle?
Not for me, no. Just thanks for having me on there, guys. And
Anytime. You are welcome anytime.
it's been a blast, and I will
Good.
be here next week in the chat.
Cool.
Yeah,
Excellent.
it was just that's pretty neat. How we just make a random contact on the air and then we'll have it on the show next week.
I know it's I know when I got the email, then I was just at work for the last
Real quickly, we told Molson, Joe Brett, like, get on that email. And Molson
the next
was
day,
probably busy. He was busy with family and our work, and we get it, man.
Oh, yeah.
We all got, but Joe Brett was hammering him. He's like, get him. So
But I definitely do appreciate it. It's been a blast. And, yeah, I'll be here for a while now. It's a great it's a great community for sure. Like the ham radio it's a phenomenal community. Because I mean, if anybody has questions, they're more than welcome to look me up on QRZ and flood the inbox. And definitely will
first pictures.
Yeah, definitely scroll through and any questions how I did it or whatever I did. It's I got no problem asking. We're all here to help each other.
You heard it here first, folks. He just signed up for every single mailing list there is out there.
Beer snack while you got it, man. Keep it going.
You know what? I got nothing right now. I've been fighting noise up and down in the apartment. And when I said, Michelle, you have a bigger yard than I don't have a backyard. I don't even have a patio. So I'm sitting here with my little hamstick dipole behind, a wall of S9. So, you know what? It is what it is. I go out and I play in the field when I can. Other than that, got nothing really going. Good to see you guys. Always fun to hang out. Sorry I was late. I'll get the empties.
No, don't worry about it. No, don't worry about it. I got it.
I'll take them to New York, get the 5-cent deposit on every of them.
There you go.
10 cents out here in Calgary.
Brother Joe. Brother Joe Brett.
Glad to be here another Tuesday night and having fun and making some videos when we can on the channel. Enjoy the chat again, man. Thank everybody.
Okay. All right. Tomorrow I plan on going up to what's known as the Big E here in Massachusetts, right outside of Springfield, Massachusetts. It's the third largest agricultural event in North America due to the massive numbers over a 17-day period. About 1.7, 1.5 people pass through the gates. There's a big
That's
ham
it?
radio. Yeah, that's it. Big ham radio
Good.
presence.
What does 1.5 people look like?
Yeah, 1.5 million.
Oh, okay. All right.
Don't let me do my Carl Sagan impression. It's one of the biggest, and it's great. It's everything from you want beef jerky, you want something for your house for Christmas, you want some good fair food, excellent fair food. Avenue of the states of all the New England states, great representative from public safety. Learn about your state, learn about your surrounding states. There's a ham radio presence going on right now up there. So I'm looking forward to saying hello to the guys up there. They're going to be working the International Space Station next week. So this is a big thing for ham radio for us to introduce as ambassadors, to introduce the public to who we are. And I can't wait just to go up there and say hello.
Tune
to
up
the
a
guys.
harvester, Don.
Yep, and get some clam. All I want is some clam fritters. I want some good old clam fritters and a good old lobster roll from up there. And after that, I'm happy. I'll probably get some beef jerky up there, and that little giant ladder. I'll stand in front of the little giant ladder demonstration, and I get mesmerized. So it's between ladders, women, and radios, antennas. That's all it takes for me, and it probably a good cigar. So, but hey, listen. We cannot forget, we said it at the beginning of the show. If you have not registered for our big giveaway, which I believe we're going to be doing next week, the ICOM 718, the DX Commander antenna feed line, there's going to be a power supply, there's going to be a solder station in there. This is something that you guys are going to be able to plug and play. Get on to Ham Radio Clubhouse, fill out that form, get it in. Don't wait if you haven't. Once is all you need, and we look forward to giving that away. I believe we're going to be doing that next week. Look for the tweets. We'll start getting that out, and we'll make sure. So, on behalf of everybody, go play some ham radio. Be happy, have fun, be safe, and we'll see you all next week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
All those Canadians, they all have a black T-shirt.
Good night, Sue.